Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday, if it is happy. Because what the actual fuck? Hello, Laura, Linda, Aaron, Maureen, Jeremiah. Hello, friends. Hello, hello, hello. Like, just what the actual fuck? Yo, what's up, Mr. Wallace? In normal times, I would say nowhere nukes them. I don't think this is entirely normal. I'm not there yet. I know there's a few people that are. And let's be fair, I can understand why they are. I don't. I'm. Shut up. Oh, yeah, it is Tuesday. Dang it. Well, happy Tuesday then. Shoot. I was hoping we were far. I was hoping we were farther into the week. Obviously. I hate when Tuesdays feel like Wednesdays. Seriously. What's up, Silver? Gonna be a long week. Yeah. That is an understatement if I've ever heard one. Pretty confident he will taco, but I'm sort of interested in the train wreck of it all. You know, I don't know what he'll do. And that's probably why it's the most scary. Hey, Kia. I would hope at that point someone would stop. You know, I would hope. I would friggin' hope. Would friggin' hope. I don't trust that it will, but I friggin' hope. I just wish I could be confident in anything at this point. I wish it was at least Wednesday. My Minnesota bill I've been following has its last Minnesota Senate committee hearing and its first Minnesota House hearing tomorrow. Then has a final House committee hearing on Thursday. Oh. Imagine attacking another country and getting mad that they restricted areas in and around their nation. I know, right, Mr. Wallace? Whew. How we feeling after the post? Not very good. Not very good. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. And for those of you that may not know what's going on, for whatever reason, this is what's going on. What bugs me is that Susie Wiles allegedly is frustrated because people aren't telling him the whole truth when it's literally her job. He doesn't want to hear the truth. That's the problem. See, I don't think that Trump feels desperate. I think Trump is just I don't think Trump's being told everything. No, that was this morning. That was this morning, about an hour-ish ago, hour and a half ago. Uh, 25th is a stupid pipe dream. Even if they invoke it, he still can tell 25th Amendment has nothing to do with Congress. Congress could never be involved in it. 25th is the cabinet. We are completely done as a country. We're probably completely done as a global society. Iran bombed Kuwait's desalination plant last night, in Saudi Arabia petrochemical complex, and are demanding Trump turns himself over to them or they'll continue to go after allies. I wish I were surprised. I wish I were surprised. This morning. Posted it this morning. If there has been no official, like normally, obviously I game, but if there has been no official announcement that that change has happened before 8 o'clock, I'll probably end up going live on here at 8 o'clock tomorrow or tonight, because I can't not be around to see I can't not see what happens. I can't. I think he knows the price of gas is the one thing that could turn most of what's left of his supporters against him. See, again, I don't know if he thinks that. I don't think he thinks a whole hell of a lot. No, he's being told what gas prices are. I mean, to be fair, yeah, they all should be held to account at any point from this point on. I mean, they should have been before this point on, but they need to be held to account no matter what, because they allowed this to happen. Hey, Clara. This just adds on to the list of the problem. He's literally telling the whole world. Yep, pretty much. Allies about possibly helping from I don't think you're gonna get anyone to do that. At least not yet. Hey, Carla. Right. They're not war crimes. Hegseth said they weren't. Oh, you're good. You're good, Clara. I understand. Totally understand. Wish these recently fired generals would speak out. I wish a lot of people would speak out. I wish a lot of people would speak out. Feel like almost like we're living in a I mean, it's like we're living in the Twilight Zone. I mean, he probably thinks he's safe. He doesn't care about anybody else. Trying to think what else just crazy happened. I just feel like this is the stuff that we're all gonna focus on, but I don't know. Is there any synapses going on with his neurons, like, at all? No, probably not. Again, it's I feel like they all think they're living in a different on a different plane of existence. Like, reality just doesn't exist for them. That's that's the only thing that makes any sense right now. Hmm. I do love that reporter that asked Trump about the questioning of his mental state. Yeah. Yeah. Getting out is important. More than ever. I'll be right back. I gotta let the guy doing the flooring in. I'll be right back. Okay. Mm. And that's fine, Kia. I understand. It'll only be if nothing changes. But no, I completely understand anyone that doesn't think they could be here. Hey, Summer. I want me an only parks pass. There you go. There's a bright thing in the sky, and I'm squinting a lot like I haven't seen in a week. Yeah. You saw something yesterday morning on today, and it made me think about you. Hopefully, it was something good. It had to do with Terry Crews' wife. She also has Parkinson's, but way worse. Yeah. Parkinson's sucks. Heck yeah. Got this new treatment on one part of her brain. Interesting. I wonder if it's like DBS or it's something different. Because the sun is out and it's beautiful. It's also cold again. Yeah, those clouds keeping the heat. Most people don't realize. That is the one he posted this morning, Shawnee. Gotcha. Yeah, I know that DBS, deep brain stimulation, can help. It helped my mom be able to do stuff again when she really couldn't. Since the husband now has nothing tying him down, we've discussed buying an RV and going to every park in the US. We're at the F it stage, sell the house and just go. That does sound actually pretty amazing. All right, we're gonna. I read it when I logged in. I'm just, yeah, I don't know. Yep. 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 Good morning, Paige. How are you doing? So when he says tonight, he supposedly mean he supposedly means 8 p.m. Eastern. That is at least what he said yesterday. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Minnesota Mom. Yeah, Jay, it's pretty bad. The scene between Harrison Ford and Michael J. Fox made. Yeah, I saw a commercial that they did two together. That was pretty funny. Hello, Jurgita. Is that how you say it? I hope I said it right. That's for everyone that comes in. Okay, good. Hey, Sarah. Good morning. Team of said ethno state, probably more. Yeah. Yep. I'll be very interested. Afternoon from the UK. What is happening in this? Essex gal. I think a lot of people are just losing their minds. That's what I think is happening. That's what I think is happening. It's as simple as that. You know, Sandoval, we definitely need some major change. 100%. What's up, Jose? Guys, make sure you also share this live and join the team if you haven't. Anything that you guys have the capability of doing to make it possible for me to keep doing what I'm doing, which is what I do here and interviewing tons of grassroots candidates. There's lots of different ways that you can support me, and I appreciate all of them. It is so scary. Who made us judge, jury, and executioner? No one. According to him, though, probably money. He probably thinks money did it. I don't know. We never stand up. A lot of people stand up. I don't know what you think we should be doing. 8 million people stood up on what was it? Just recently. You don't even know what that means, T. I don't know why you think that would be better. The world does need to stand up. We're a giant country with 340 million people in it. I'm not supporting any dictator. No, both of them were, Aaron. One got rescued pretty quickly, and the other one was the one that took a while to find. Just because he's president of the United States doesn't mean I need to support everything he does. That's called a cult. Good morning, OC. I know, Fannin. I know. European countries are stopping open airspace. Good. Good. I'm glad to hear. Yep. And more countries need to stand up against what's going on. I mean, you're not getting an argument from me. Do you think he's bluffing? I think he is. I don't know. Regardless of whether he is doing it or not, the fact that he's even talking like this is not good. If you were living in 1979, you understand. I mean, technically, I was living in 1979, Poppy. And so were my parents. And they don't understand. I mean, he absolutely might, Joe. That doesn't make it okay, but and again, you might be right. He may be doing the pump and dump for markets. That is a possibility. There are going to be consequences, though. So you can't, I just want to point this out. You can't invoke the 25th. At least Congress can't. It would need to be the vice president and his cabinet. And if Trump tries to argue that he isn't, that he is fit, then it goes to Congress. Me too, Grizzly. I mean, yeah, Taj. Yeah. What do we do as a nation? That's a great question. That's a great question. Again, this is the problem, T. I know what I would push to do. I wish I could be confident that what the right would do, what the people in charge would do. This morning, Stu. He literally lost a friend because he agreed with it. That's insane. Hey, Garpu. We are in a bad place. Guys, if you're over here on TikTok, please tap that nose. Join the team, fan club, whatever the hell it's called. Share it. Please do all that stuff. It really helps push it out. Also know if you're over here on TikTok, I'm also live over on the Tube. I am posting interviews every single day with grassroots candidates that are trying to make the change that we keep saying we want. So please go over and watch those. I made a playlist of ones that are running that have their primaries in May. So, or in May. Good morning. Yes, he did, meme, this morning. Where is Congress? That's a great question. It is sad that we have a president that thinks like this, but it's not surprising. We've got a lot of people that think like this. I mean, change can happen within the framework as long as people are willing to do the work. The problem right now, they don't. They haven't. They aren't even close to. Chosen one. Our own intelligence agency said that they weren't even close to one. They're more likely to try and get one because of what is happening right now. Is the alternative not just allowing Iran to get away with everything? They weren't doing anything. We started all of this. No, inspectors say exactly what was going on, which was nothing. Same with our same with our intelligence agencies. Oh, we are absolutely the bad guys. Yeah, and you want to know why they had enriched uranium? Because this president got rid of the nuclear deal that existed during his first term. Yeah, I know people are worried that he might, and we should be worried. I don't think he will, but we should be worried. Yes, war crimes. Yep. They're in Trump's chocolate factory. I don't support Iran. Katie. This is one of those cases where two things are true at the same time. I cannot support Iran's leadership and not support what America is doing. Good morning, Jamie. And I just want to, again, I want to say we can't invoke the 25th Amendment unless his cabinet and the vice president are going to do it. It's not a Congress thing. Unless the president argues that he is sane, that he is capable of leading, then it goes to Congress. But it's got to start with the cabinet. And there's no way the cabinet's going to do it. They're as crazy as he is. I mean, is it easier to impeach? Sure. Will you get a conviction? No. There is no way you're going to get 20 senators to do it. You got to get 20 Republican senators to do it. That just won't happen. Will he actually go through it? You know, I don't know, Bridget. I don't think so, personally. But it's still dangerous rhetoric. Very dangerous rhetoric. Taco? It wouldn't surprise me if he tacos. We'll find out, but it wouldn't surprise me if he tacos. Oil is up, stocks are down. That is not what all previous presidents said they'd do. I'm sorry, Jill. How do you live with yourselves? Who's you? This is posted on Truth Social, NAR. Is there a possibility? As far as I know from multiple sources, Iran does not have the capability of doing that. At least not right now. I think we've opened the door for them trying harder than they've ever tried before, but how do we know he's talking about Iran? Because it has to do with his 48-hour thing. Because he says Iran in the post. What other place has had any sort of people in their government removed? I thought we took away their capability last year. Yep. I know. Oh, I mean, this is more of an indictment on Congress for not convicting him in 2021. What do I think of the Lego videos? I think they're hilarious. I think they make this administration look like fools because they are. Gold falling isn't a great sign. Nope. That is true. We are the country that got us to the point where we are now. Yep. Over there. I do not think he is itching to use nukes. I don't think he is. That does not mean he's not. I just don't think he is. When did this post? This morning, Barbara. Like 8-ish Eastern. When he says 47 years of corruption, extortion, and fraud, he's talking about the US. He should be. I mean, to be fair, Iran's government is full of it too, but he could be talking about us. There will be no winners. There is never really winners in war. Correct, Mac. I have not seen the Iran video this morning. It is us. Think about what your great grandparents told you. What? Why can't we, the people, remove him? Because the Constitution sets up ways to remove him, and there hasn't been enough pressure to make it happen. We all nearly perished in the Cuban Missile Crisis, and this is nothing in comparison to that. I wouldn't argue it's nothing in comparison. This will backfire. It's already backfired. He's been handed everything all his life. He's done monstrous and horrible things. He's absolutely, they would get him. I mean, what a prophecy. You're 47 today. Well, hopefully it ends up being a not day that we're worried it might be. Happy birthday. Happy 47th. I know, Alejandra. How are you doing, friend? Anyone seen Scott? I think he works on Tuesdays. Garpu. Nicola, I'm worried for the USA too. Is he threat? Wavy, technically he has not made any specific threat other than the ending of a civilization. He never said how, never said in what way. I know there's a lot of people that are reading it a certain way, but I also don't trust anything this man says one way or another. Guys, if you're hanging out over here and you like what I'm doing, please tap that nose. Also, please go over and follow on the tube. I've interviewed 130 people running for Congress in the last 2.5 months, state and federal. And we need to support them because these are all grassroots candidates who want to actual change. So please go watch the videos. Help support these people. You booped the snoot? Thank you, Loki. Yeah, getting rid of generals isn't good either. Would he go through Congress to do this? No, because Congress would never allow it. Yes, this post is from this morning. It's the same name, Mac. It's the same name. I'm actually live over there as well. I don't think so. I don't think there's anything. This is nuclear, but I'm sure. I don't know. Oh, hey, Alejandra. Chances forces ignore order to conduct the war. You know, again, this is one of those I would like to think they would, but history is not does not show it happens as often as it should, like ever. So I'm grouping, so I've put ones that have primaries in May all together. Past that, they're all in a playlist called Candidate Corner. It allows the Congress to do it through impeachment and conviction, or the vice president and the cabinet to start the process. It doesn't give us, the people, the ability. I don't think so, Tired. But I also don't trust this administration, if I'm being straight and honest. When did he post this? This morning, around 8 a.m. Eastern. Me too. Me too, mama. I'm exhausted too, tired. I'm also, guys, I'm like everywhere, so I'm also on IG and other places like that. There's a lot of cool stuff going on this channel. So if you are interested in following me in all the places, please do. Yes, mama, they did. They bombed the largest and something else in Kuwait, right? It does sound like it, Angela. Yes, he put it out today, this morning, around 8 a.m. Eastern. Yep. Somebody else wrote that. It's not deranged enough. I mean, that's possible. Hey, Castro. Is he really going to go through with this? I mean, if you go by history, no. Oh, right. Desalinization plants in Kuwait, which, again, is not good. What does he mean by what? You know, Liliana, if anyone truly could say exactly what he means by anything he says, they would probably, they should probably play the lottery, because I don't think anyone really knows what he means or says about anything, like truly. Yes, this was this morning, Amanda. How probable? If I were to put a bet on it, not very probable. Pretty low probability. But I would, again, with this administration, I would not willingly put anything against them. We don't technically know what he's talking about, but a lot of people are worried that he is talking about nukes, yes. How many hours? He said 8 p.m. Eastern time. Where did he even post this? Truth Social. Rogue. Yes, Bonnie. It's worse than that, but yes. It is 10:28 a.m. on the 7th, on Tuesday here. So if he doesn't make an announcement, we're looking at 9.5 hours from now. About 8 a.m. Eastern this morning, Gigi. Why is he not being removed? Because his administration is about as crazy as he is, and Congress is Congress. And just so you know, for those that want to be able to speak a little more normal, I'm over on the tube as well live right now. So you can go over there and talk more, but and guys, thank you for everything that you're giving. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. You're making it possible for me to keep doing what I'm doing, so I appreciate it. Once those weapons are used, the world is over. I mean, no one knows the future. I'm not sure that's the case, but you look worried, man. I look worried because the president of the United States said that a whole civilization will be unalive tonight. Yeah. 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 I'm worried. So should you. Do you think he's underestimating? I think yes, he is underestimating Iran. Do I think it's mostly words? Knowing him, probably, but it doesn't change anything. It's a threat, and it's a dangerous threat. I think he's also underestimating Iran's allies. I think he's underestimating a lot of people. I truly believe in his head he thinks he can't be touched. Can this escalate? Sure. Sure, it can. Sure. Do I think it will? No. But it absolutely could. What does this mean as of today? We don't totally know. He said some very dangerous stuff, but he also said it somewhat cryptically. I mean, Mark, he is absolutely a problem. No argument there. He definitely has the potential. Did you know that the federal minimum wage in Spain is more than $9 an hour? I didn't know that. Them. Why are you fear-mongering? Me. Because I'm scared. Yeah. This is all Stephen Miller. I mean, Stephen Miller is definitely a problem too. It's gonna happen. I mean, I guess we'll find out. I think we need to prepare. When did he post this? 8 a.m. this morning, Eastern. Let's take their oil. Let's not. When did this become okay? Far too long ago. Far too many years ago, we started allowing it. Far too many years ago, we started allowing it. Why tell your adversary you're going to attack? He's trying to threaten them in order to get them to do things. The question is how many times will he taco before he feels he needs to follow on his threat? Hammer time, grow up. You need the blocking kind of a history lesson. We can never just have a normal day, seriously. Correct, it's on Truth Social. Do I think he's going to? No, I do not think he's going to. But I also don't trust this administration, so. Yes, it was posted this morning. What does taco mean? Trump always chickens out. I know. What's a normal day, right, Eric? Well, I mean, they keep calling his bluff. Literally every day he makes a new threat and they keep calling his bluff. Do I know about the money being made via bets? I do know about I mean, I don't know specifics, but I know there's lots of bets that go on having to do with all of this. What are the chances he nukes it? Probably not good. I don't think he's going to, but I don't trust this administration. What can we believe right now? Fully? Nothing. But, I mean, in the end, what can we fully believe ever from any fully from any government? I mean, what trust is there in our government? No one will ever. That is a short-sighted statement to make. To say no one will ever. That assumes you know the future. Will that affect us here in the US? What do you mean? Will what affect us? I mean, we're being affected by everything that's going on over there. Did I vote for him? No. God, no. This was written at about 8 a.m. Eastern time this morning. How is this real? Check his newest update. I'm afraid to. Wait, did he take it down? Oh, no. No, he didn't. Where is the update? I'm looking on Truth Social and I don't see any update. It's on Truth Social. Did he ever take the Easter post down? I don't think so. It is not AI. I mean, I can't say that AI didn't write it, but... I mean, I know Iran has hit places in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. What does the Congress even do? Right now, not a whole hell of a lot. Yes, it's the sun now, who by all everything we know is more radical. West Texas crude is almost more expensive than Murban crude, which is wild. Do we believe there's no one higher than the president? Yes. I mean, if they did, sure. Not gonna happen. Oh, okay. That's still not a reason for him to talk like that. New country before GTA 6 was released? It's fair. Washington, you mean DC? Yeah, and it's not a complete and total regime change, so. No, Mickey. No, they haven't. The world would be a better place without the USA. Okay. Who's talking to an echo chamber? Do you understand how conversations work? Worst president of all time. It is very disturbing. Why are Congress allowing it? That's a great question, Johnny. That's a great question. Sure is not the best president. He's the worst. The world is a vampire? I mean, could be true. You never know. It's supposed to be lawful, but he gives the... Yeah, it's true. I hear you, Johnny. Yeah, I heard that, Essex. It wasn't necessary at all. It's not our place to go in and just do what we're doing. How can anyone defend this? It's amazing what people's brains will do to not be wrong. People are willing to justify almost anything to not be wrong. It's kind of wild. You've been doing this from day one. Doing what? What do you think I've been doing from day one? Why aren't you all taking class action? What do you think that means, Beth? Can anyone stop him? Congress can? They can impeach him and convict him. Yes, Mr. Green. Absolutely can. Nobody over in US doing anything, apparently. There's lots of people doing stuff. What do I think it means? No, I'm asking what you think that statement means. What that statement means to you. Why do they not do that in the Senate? Because I don't know. It seems obvious to me, but I don't know. What can we do to convince Congress? Vote them out of office. If we blocked you, I am a banana, then you wouldn't be able to talk here. And no, I'm not paid to make this live. It is very disgusting, Andrea. Congress needs to be held accountable, and that's what voting is for. Is Congress obsolete? No. Neutered? Yes, they've neutered themselves. I'll give you that one. Wing, you're right there. I think you need to go out and touch some grass. Any latest news? I mean, I haven't seen anything new. US striking military targets on Iran's Karg Island. according to U.S. officials. What do you think will happen when the deadline gets here? If I were to make a guess based on history, he's going to taco again. Rolling out the new world order. I don't even know what that means. The deadline he gave was 8 p.m. Eastern time. So in about 9 hours. What is taco? Trump always chickens out. I'm gonna pray this one time he chickens out. I am always okay with chickening out. Although every time he does what he's doing, he is hurting our place on the world stage. But what time in UK time? It's almost 11 a.m. here. I don't know what time it is in the UK. So you hope he tacos? Yeah. Why is your son coming up and talking to you? The post that I put right here is a lot of people are worried that he is talking about nukes. That's why. The mechanism is Congress or his cabinet. Hey, Patty. I mean, in the military, the military have the right to say no to orders they consider illegal. Didn't anyone try and stop him before it was too late? Stop him from what? He hasn't technically done anything that people are worried about yet. I think America hasn't felt war on its own soil in a long time. I mean, it depends what you mean by war. The closest, 9/11 and Pearl Harbor. And then before that was, the Civil War. Why do we think he wouldn't? In the end, Lee, I don't fully believe that he wouldn't, which is why I can say I think he is going to taco, but I'm not 100% on it. Not gonna lie, you're deaf fed. Okay. What's taco? Trump always chickens out. Does this mean? No one knows technically what it means, but there are a lot of people that are worried about it. I mean, I hope so too. How is this not a war crime? Threatening is not a war crime. What he actually does absolutely could be. If what he says is going to happen actually happens, it is a war crime. He was hoping for backing from other countries. I don't know why he would think that. What happens if he does do it? You probably see every other nation in the world be against us. Does he have the power? No, he does not have the power to get the US out of NATO. Marco Rubio, while he was still a senator, actually passed a law that made it so 2/3 of Congress would have to of the Senate would have to vote to approve the leaving of NATO. Like, he actually passed the law. Rubio, really? Yep. After the first time Trump talked about leaving NATO. Can anyone in the American government stop him? Yes, Congress can. Will they? No. At least not yet. At least not yet. Do I think he's going to use a nuclear weapon? No, I do not. But I also don't fully trust him. So, grow a pair. You first. No, he's not. LOL. Well, it's nice to know that you know the future. It is a mythical hat. Yes, Kelvin. Everyone should be their mythical best. Let him work? Why would I let him work? It's not our job to hold the world's oil, power, and rare minerals. Why wouldn't Congress stop him? Because the Republicans in Congress care more about power and being in power and having power than actually doing the right thing. Do I defend the Iranian government? No. This is one of those cases where two things are true at the same time. I absolutely have the ability to not support their administration, but also think that what's going on, what we're doing over there, is also wrong. It's that simple. Do I think he will? No, Killer, I don't. But I'm not 100% on that. You are sounding terrified. terrified? No. Is it a little nerve-wracking that our president would say something like that? Yeah. We already look like a joke, unfortunately, Abita. Hey, Jennifer. Why? He is saying everything Americans are thinking? No, he's not. I'm not thinking it. I'm too tired to be terrified at this point. Yes, he is. No, he's not. No, Courtney, I don't think he's going to. But I don't trust this administration, so I would never say 100%. Republicans have never been for doing the right thing in Congress, only playing make-believe, and now the guy in control has no stability and the whole house of cards is toppling under its weight. True. Who is stopping him? I mean, the law has stopped him quite a few times. I guess community people can come up for the last hour. Just so you know, I don't bring up people I don't know. So if you really, like, if you want to come up, you just need to be part of the community for a bit. Like, I just don't bring up people I don't know. It's always been the case.
Hey,
Hello.
good God.
But seriously, guys, stick around. I go live like every morning. You stick around for a week and show that you like actually care. Chances are I'd be willing to bring you up. Welcome to the shit show, Scott.
Oh, I just walked in from work, and I didn't read the truth until I just read what you posted. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Look, we've been talking about this since he was inaugurated, and it just goes on and on and on and on. The man's not mentally stable, and it doesn't take a doctor to see that, although thousands of doctors have already said that. And this guy has his hands on the nuclear weapons. This is very dangerous stuff, and he's going to be president. He's going to lose the Congress, but he's still going to be president and in charge of foreign policy and in charge of the nuclear weapons in our military for the next 2 3/4 years. This is as dangerous as it gets.
Sorry, people are working on my flooring, so I mute sometimes.
Yeah, that's okay.
V, I'm gonna mute you and then unmute you just because of that comment. Y'all, I know we're frustrated and upset, but you are on TikTok. You are on an app that is owned by people that are very friendly to this regime. You have to be careful. I don't care if you don't care about your own space, but while you're in this space, please be mindful of what you're typing in the chats. You can't say that word and say you can't put those things together. You're going to end up with people knocking at your door from the government, okay? Stop it. Please be careful what you're typing.
How are we not mad? How are we not mad? We're furious. We've been furious for the last friggin' 10 years. For everyone that's been here, because there's a lot of new people here, just so you know, I go live every morning, 9:30 Eastern, starting on the tube, and then I go live here at 10 Eastern for 2 hours. I also am posting daily with people that are running for office. They could use your help. They need visibility and name recognition. They're grassroots candidates. These are people that want to fix things, that are trying to win in the midterm. So please go over and watch their stuff. Please, please, please.
Just a procedural thing. I thought you didn't go live on Tuesdays.
I didn't. My morning changed around a bit, so I decided to go live.
Okay, I just mean going forward.
Yes, in general, I will not be going live on Tuesday morning.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Stop being scared. Okay.
User, it's not an issue of being scared. It's an issue of being disgusted.
That's fine. And y'all, and I promise, like y'all, you don't have to like what I'm saying. It doesn't have anything to do with free speech. First of all, this is an app. Free speech does not pertain here. There is rules set by the host and by the mods. Respect the boundaries, period. If you don't, no means no, regardless of what situation it is. No means no. I don't like it. You can use coded words all you want to. You just can't say the blatant words out loud. Don't do that. That's the thing. You can talk about him all you want to, because I can't stand the fucker, but you have to be careful in this space. And that's all I care about is this space.
Kali asking in chat, how can we stop this mad guy? The bottom line is our tools are very limited. Right now, we can win the midterms. Right now, we can win as many state offices as we can. And don't for a minute think that winning state legislative seats doesn't count. It counts a lot because state legislative seats have more of an impact on your life than Washington does. So that's what we can do. Can we do more than that? Not much. Organize, talk with people, keep your eye on the prize. I hate to use a trite phrase, but elections have consequences. A lot of us here in this community warned that this would happen. I guess we didn't warn loud enough because 77 million people decided that this was what they wanted. This was entirely predictable. The big, beautiful bill, which did nothing but backstab the very people who put him in office and kicked his own supporters to the curb, the farmers, the ranchers. 30% of people who voted for Donald Trump are on Medicaid. They're about to get hammered. The vast majority of the people on the Affordable Care Act who got subsidies are from red states. In fact, the top 10 states that get subsidies from the Affordable Care Act are all red states. He did this to his own people. It was entirely predictable. We told you this was going to happen. The bottom line is we're in a bit of a pickle. And I would love to say that there's some magic wand we could wave to make it all go away. There isn't. The best we can do right now is win the midterms, focus on that, and take the next step when it comes.
Yep. And again,
I didn't want to come in and interrupt her. I just wanted to say hi real quick. I'm not going to stay on. I love you guys. I just went and voted for myself.
Heck yeah. Yeah.
It is the craziest feeling. And if anybody's in Indiana, District 64, go vote. I didn't mean to bombard or nothing. I'm so
that's
excited.
Awesome.
And I was you're the first person I told that I was running. So you're the first person I told that I just went and voted.
Your episode's going to be posting soon.
Really?
Folks, we need your name. Tell people in District 64 who to vote for.
Yay, I'm so excited.
Give us your name now, please.
Candace, you got to tell everyone who they're voting.
Greer. I was like, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm so excited, man, because I've had so many people come to me and be like, we're so glad you're running. And, I had a call yesterday and they were telling me that my name is starting to come up and around some progressive circles.
Heck yeah.
I am just elated that me going out and being my true authentic self is actually doing something, and it's really happening. And I might be in a Indiana supermajority Republican, but it just kind of I got goosebumps thinking about it because it's just so amazing that Indiana is finally shaking out of their freaking stupor, man. So excited. So I'm sorry I know that you guys were
no need to be sorry.
I'm just so excited. I was like, oh my God, he's on. I got to tell him.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
Again, that's Indiana District 64. Candace, I didn't catch your last name.
Greer.
Freer.
Oh, my best friend's named Greer.
Well,
Here
good.
in
Easy
here
to
in New
remember.
Jersey. Um,
They,
so go vote Candace Greer, District 64, Indiana. So if you're a Hoosier in District 64, get off your butt. Go vote.
yay! And you can vote all the way until May 1st. So from today to May 1st, you can go vote early. And a lot of people, I mean, voter education in this, especially in this state, is insane. I mean, I got people that were just like, I want to vote for you, but I don't know how. And I'm like, well, come on. Like, you know. So, all right, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much. I'm so excited. Thank you for all the work that you do. And it's just exciting. I'm
is
so glad.
exciting.
I'm so excited. All right, I'll go.
Good luck,
All right.
Candace.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi.
Good luck.
And hi, Di. Di, you know you're always welcome up if you want to come up, by the way. I just don't ever want to push that.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning.
What time is it in DC? It's 11:10 in DC at the moment.
Is the balloon still supposed to drop at 8 o'clock?
I haven't seen anything change yet.
Yeah, because I've been out of pocket all day. Let me get on the New York Times while I'm talking to you, see if anything dropped. If he tacoed out already, or
I mean, I've been watching on his Truth Social, and I haven't seen anything yet. So,
well, I don't know what he hopes to accomplish by this, but I don't know what he hopes to accomplish by just about anything he does.
seriously.
So why should this be any different?
Yeah, the truth social posts this weekend are just getting more and more unhinged as time goes by. It's just I read that and I was like, how has he not been Section 25 yet? How has he not been removed? How? Just genuinely how?
Oh, I'll tell
Wait.
you how. Look at his cabinet.
Okay, well,
Look at who he's got in the cabinet. That's how. And that was by choice. He deliberately appointed incompetent people who owe their jobs solely to him and who grovel before him.
did they
He-
not?
Yeah,
Sorry.
they know everything. They don't care.
I just want to, Gonzo, you're saying you voted for the ending of an entire civilization? Yeah, I can't imagine. We would not be going through this.
I can literally imagine a potato being in charge and it would be better than this. Like, I'm just being honest.
Look,
Hey.
we have to discuss the elephant in the room. The man is clearly not mentally well.
Jennifer
He-
was trying to talk. She's very
Oh,
low.
Go
Sorry.
ahead, Jennifer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I too quiet?
Nope, you're
Can you
good.
hear me better? Okay. I have a question specifically for Scott. That first sentence is a threat of a WAR crime and a G-side. Could that be used if something bad happens tonight, right? Could that be used as evidence against him in a trial in some tribunal? Is there an organization, and I don't know which one, I know them, but I don't know which one would handle that, like Nuremberg?
Well, a couple of things. It would be an impeachable offense, and that's up to Congress to decide what an impeachable offense is. Don't hold your breath on that one. Secondly, the United States is not a member of the ICC. So he could not be brought before The Hague because we don't recognize their jurisdiction.
Yeah, interesting how we made that happen, isn't it?
Well, we created it and then didn't join it.
Exactly. One more side note to that. I would say to also remember the J6 tweets and all of the video evidence, right? All of that was used and yet still couldn't track him down. We still couldn't get that guilty verdict in. So when we kind of talk about evidence, I don't know how there could have been any more evidence for J6. And I'm curious here, even if somehow magically it was possible with the magic wand that I've been hearing about, and we were able to get some of that information in front of a jury. Again, I just don't know how far we'd be able to take it because of this particular defendant.
And
Well, Dodd,
I
there's
just-
a reason that J6 didn't go off, and that was because Merrick Garland sat on his ass for 2 years,
Yes.
and Trump ran out the clock. If Trump had lost the election of 2024, he'd be in jail right now.
and I know you can't speak, you might not even be here anymore, but I just want to make this known. This is straight, like directly from Truth Social. This is not AI. This is not just being reported somewhere. This is from his account.
And can I just add too, speaking of his Truth Social stuff, one more piece to that, Jennifer, I know because it's kind of frustrating, is if you do go back to the E. Jean Carroll cases involving the defamation, his tweets were all over the place. And I think those were really what the jury grabbed onto in that situation, because he kept coming back and tweeting, and the timing of that, and the jury's like, dude, you keep insulting her and you keep committing defamation through his own social media account.
Right. And I know that there's not going to be anything that we do here. We don't have the will for it, frankly, internally, which is why I was kind of searching around for external groups or external factors that could maybe step in, like happened after WW2, because that first line is blatant right there.
And PRT, he hasn't removed this one yet. I just went to his account again, and it's still right there.
I hate to say this. There's the only coming from somebody who doesn't live in Canada, like live in the United States, and coming from a Canadian. In my mind, there's only one way to stop this, and none of it's going to be in a legal type manner. If you get my drift, starts with the C, goes OUP, and that is, OUP. That's the only way I can see this ending.
Oh dear.
because
Oh dear. No, none of that.
I'm
Let's not
I'm
go
just
there.
objectively looking at this as an outsider. I don't foresee any ways legally before him and his administration like literally start destroying everywhere on the world.
We
At this
do
point,
have
this would destroy the world.
we do have
economically.
we do have 750 lawsuits. Now the paperwork alone could take him down, and we're winning most of them. A lot of people don't realize that. But I mean, these are hundreds and hundreds of cases directly against him and his administration. You might say, well, who cares? Nobody cares. It works really slow. Perhaps it does work slow, but it works. So that's one of those pieces that we need to remember before we kind of go down a different road. I'm just adding that in because it's on my closet.
Yeah, but constitutionally, the only way you can remove him is through the 25th Amendment or the impeachment process. Now, Jennifer, to answer your question, because you were asking legally, the impeachment process is a political process, and it's by design a political process. Crimes are defined by the House of Representatives and tried in the Senate. Things like hearsay, other than that, everything is admissible if they want it to be. They define what the crimes are. It's often called a court of law, the trial in the Senate, because it's presided over by the Chief Justice, but that's not necessarily true. An impeachment process is a political process, and don't forget, we're going to be getting a new Congress in November. So we'll have to wait and see. This Congress that exists right now, it could be weekend at Bernie's, and they are not going to do anything. They've already proven that.
Here's my question to you real quick, Scott, before I forget. I apologize. I'm an old lady. But so my question is, I think you're absolutely right where you're coming from. I'm wondering, though, how much time out of the clock we could run down with these potentials for impeachment, with the idea that maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but kind of pull a Mr. Orange on them and flood it with the different articles of impeachment. What are your thoughts?
Sorry, I hit the wrong button on the microphone. Yeah, and I tend to think that that's what's going to happen. Let's look at the reality here. The reality here is the Democrats are going to take back the House. The only issue is just how many seat majority they have. The Senate is now up to about a 50-50 shot from about a 5% shot at the beginning of this year. It's now up to 50-50. But you need 67 votes to convict folks. 67. That's a huge hurdle. But is it an impossible hurdle? It's very difficult. It's not impossible. If
I
you
agree.
have
I
a
agree.
world,
January 6th, real quick. I'm sorry. We were only off by 6 votes, just so you know. Sorry.
yeah, I know, but the Democrats had the majority there too. Right now, the Republicans do. So let's say that the Democrats really wildly overperform and go from a 53-47 deficit to a 53-47 majority, and that's certainly doable. That's possible. You have a bunch of Trump is now a lame duck. Trump is certifiably crazy. You have a bunch of Republicans who are up for election in 2028 saying we're going to get our ass kicked again if this guy continues to wreck the country for another 2 years. Is it so impossible that they may not say, especially since the president would be down to, let's say, a 35% approval rating at best, that they would not say, let's cut our losses here. His MAGA base doesn't exist anymore. They've had it with him. We're not worried about getting primaried anymore, because the thing that you have to remember is Democrats say they hate Trump. You want to know who really hates Trump? You want to know who hates Trump more than anybody on earth? It's the Republicans in Congress who've been neutered by him, and they resent him very, very much.
Oh my
They
goodness.
can't
Yes.
stomach him.
Oh my gosh, that's so right. I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget it.
I just want to make sure that I respond to a few things. Can he be found medically unfit for office? Yes. So the through the 25th Amendment, the vice president and the cabinet can say that he is unfit for office. He can fight it, which then goes to Congress, and they have to decide whether or not he actually is fit for office. There will be midterms. There was midterms during the Civil War, or there was elections during the Civil War. There will be midterm elections. Now, does that mean that this administration won't try and do things to make it very difficult for people to get out and vote? No, I mean, there already are. They're already trying to make it harder for people to get out and vote. So that is going to happen, but there will be elections.
I guess my question for the panel is that you guys keep talking about what it's costing the US. What is this costing the rest of the planet? All of the countries around you guys and who are your allies or even who aren't your allies, this is costing every person on this planet right now. Every decision he has made has literally had a ripple effect around the world and is continuing to do so. And to do what he is suggesting here in this tweet, like I honestly, if America was like gonna make any comeback, I don't see how this would ever. That would be it. Because at this point, you've just literally done the most unimaginable thing to another country. And that is not me saying that I agree with the current regime in Iran. I do not. But to even threaten this is just diabolical. And the fact that there are people who voted for this, like, and no one's stopping it. I think that's the hardest part for the people around the world to understand, and this is coming from somebody living in another country. I cannot understand, how is no one stopping this? How has
We're
it not been
trying.
stopped?
We're trying. We are trying in the legal system. We're trying. We've got 750 cases, and people are like, we don't care. Well, I got 750 cases I can keep everybody up to date on and all the wrongs the administration's done, or I can sit down and think to myself, whoa, I hope France doesn't get mad. Like, I love the entire world. I've traveled around the world. We're such a dumpster fire right now. If we don't put the fire out in the backyard first, there's not going to be much left to offer other places in the world. I hear you. I absolutely hear you. It's having an incredibly negative effect. But right now, we're trying to like grab on by our fingernails to keep our democracy. Until that is firmed up, it's going to be hard to kind of go to another country at this point and say, hey, how can we help you? Because that orange fella's such various bad words that I shouldn't say. So let me just put that out there. People do not understand that this is a civil war, and each one of these lawsuits is a battle. So we are fighting. We're fighting as hard as possible when it comes to what he's doing in Iran, what's going on with the money he's using to do that, the requests he's doing to do that. There's like lawsuits all over the place. Like, you can't look at one single thing that he has done and see that there's not a lawsuit. You might say, again, it's too slow. But with lawsuits, we actually get information that they won't allow us to have normally. So that's where we can educate ourselves and go forward. So I just want to put that out there. I know a lot of people are worried and we're like, it's the end of the world. But I just can't let 750 cases fly by here without acknowledging how important those are.
And I'm not disagreeing with you, Di. Like, lawsuits and court cases are absolutely important. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. Our court system doesn't matter where we are in a democratic part of the world, that it's super important. But I guess for my mind, I'm looking at this, those lawsuits didn't help all those little girls in those schools. Those lawsuits are not going to help the people of Iran if he follows through with this threat.
That's not
Those
true.
lawsuits are not going to help. If he does this to another country, if he intended to come across our border, like, those lawsuits are not going to help, because it's not going to stop it. It may
Not
stop
true.
at some point way in the future, but it's not going to do anything today. And I think as people, or as someone outside in the other part of the planet, I'm looking at this and being like, I don't understand why no one has stopped anything yet. It is just continuing to go, and with no stop in sight.
But again, the things that come to my mind while you're saying it, other than I wish we could stop it right now, is like, nothing is going to stop it today. Literally nothing is going to stop it today. No matter what, nothing is going to stop it today. That being said, I guess I don't know what people think that what, say this was your country doing it, what would you guys be doing to stop it that we aren't trying to do here? And again, I'm not saying we're doing everything perfectly or that we should. I'm just trying, because again, there's a lot of us that are sitting here going, are stressing out of our minds every single day and seeing this and trying to do what we can to fight against this to the best of our ability. And I don't know what else people think that we should do. General strike and remove him. 340 million people are not going to general strike. Just not going to happen.
Jaden, just so you know, I'm absolutely not crazy, but thank you for that. I guess
She's not crazy. It's.
I
want to
have
put
a
this
right
out.
to feel the
I
way
want to
that
put
I
this
do.
out. I want to put
Please,
this.
Get a
thank you.
knuckle sandwich.
I
You
wanna-
call it crazy.
I want to make sure. I want to make sure this is understood. I understand every perspective that Tiffany has because I have it too.
How can we not have multiple perspectives? That's
Yeah.
exactly what we're supposed to be doing and be respectful about. Of course, Tiffany, of course I respect where you're coming from, hun. We're just
Same,
talking about
babe.
different things going on. That's what adult people were supposed to be able to do until Mr. Orange made everything into a dang fight.
Oh boy, did he ever. And I was going to say, I guess, what would you expect? And oh my God, I cannot believe I'm using this group as an example. Please, may whatever runs this whole existence forgive me for even saying this, because as a Canadian, I'm super embarrassed. I'm going to bring the clown voy up, but and if any Canadians in the audience know who the clown voy is, you'll know exactly why I'm absolutely embarrassed. I'm using him as an example, but literally, we had a whole entire convoy full of people traveling across Canada all the way to Ottawa during the pandemic to protest wearing masks. So in all honesty, I'm like, I don't even know what the answer would be from a Canadian perspective, what Canadians would come up with.
I mean,
'cause I'm like, I don't even want to know.
we had 8 million people come out during No Kings, and it could have been more. That's just the number they gave. Again,
They were crazy. Like, legit.
And that's, again, this is one of those things where it's just
No, and it's not me being angry at anybody in specific. Like, obviously
know.
my anger is directed towards specific human beings on
Administration.
this
I know.
planet. But I think I'm worried, like, I look at this and I'm like, if this gets followed through on, this is like the
This is
most
bad.
Oh, it's the most diabolical thing I can think of in all of human history.
Understood. 100%.
Like I hate to say it, like,
No question whatsoever. If what he talks about, if what he says in that first line actually happens, it will be the end of we will be as bad as the people we fought against in other wars.
yeah, I'm gonna say even worse, and this is sort of because they didn't have history books of stuff. You guys, that there was examples of what not to do. This is just
Patty in chat said, where's the 25th Amendment? Congress, get going. Patty, the 25th Amendment has to be effectuated by his cabinet and vice president. That's one of the two ways to bring this to an end. If you take a look at the membership of his cabinet, you realize how impossible that is. His cabinet was specifically chosen so that something like the 25th Amendment could never be implemented. These people are not going, what do you expect? People like Kennedy, well, Pam Bondi's gone now, but the acting, his own lawyer, own lousy lawyer too, going to implement the 25th Amendment. That's not going to happen. The constitutional remedy is also through impeachment, which is a majority vote in the House and then 2/3 in the Senate. That's a long haul. That's a long haul, and probably wouldn't have a chance of it until after November. And even then, the chance is not that great. But he's piling it up, that's for sure. He's talking about ending a civilization that has existed since 550 BC. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. That's insanity. And if you needed any more evidence that this man is no longer mentally capable of continuing on as president, believe me, you've had nothing but evidence since the day he was inaugurated. But if you wanted more evidence, it's sitting right in front of you. And we have a moribund Congress that has abdicated its Article 1 rights. And more importantly, it has abdicated its Article 1 responsibilities. And they have a responsibility here. We talk about the judicial system. The judicial system isn't going to save us. We need Congress to save us. That's their role in our constitutional form of government.
And I just want to get on a couple things that were said. So one of the things that I want to say, hilarious, you want democracy, but not the effects of democracy. Well, first off, we like democracy. That does not mean we always are okay with the outcomes of it, nor is anyone ever always okay with the outcomes of it. The Republicans that voted for Trump in 2019 or in 2020 were not happy with the outcome of it, and they complained about it nonstop. That is part of a democracy too, is talking about what we don't like that happened and what we want to change. That is how a democracy works everywhere. And what was the other thing that I wanted to say? If someone else wants to say something, I can think.
I was going to say, Scott, I agree with everything you just said. And you don't have to repeat it because I don't remember what it was, but I really agree with it.
Well, thank you. Well, I wish I didn't have to say it. I wish we had a Congress that was performing its function.
Agreed.
In fact, both you and I think everybody on panel and most of the people in chat know a decent amount about history. I can think of no comparable time where Congress has so abdicated its role under our constitutional form of government. Even presidents that had huge majorities, monstrous majorities, FDR comes to mind, Lyndon Johnson comes to mind. They still had to work hard to get things through Congress. After all, FDR couldn't get his court packing scheme through. He got batted down on that. Lyndon Johnson had a hard time getting the Civil Rights Bill passed. And that guy had a more than 2-to-1, or in some cases 3-to-1 majorities. And he had to work hard to get it passed. So we have a Congress that is pretty evenly divided, and the Republicans are just supine. They don't care what this man wants to do, and they despise him. And he's not a president with a 65% approval rating like Johnson had, or a 65% approval rating like FDR had. He has a 35% approval rating. This doesn't make sense. But this is the world we're living in.
A lot of people that voted for this president do not support this war. Most of them voted for no new wars. People are pissed off that voted for this administration, that we are at war. So again, you obviously don't know how a democracy works. And to what's the point of the Second Amendment? Just like with everything in the Constitution, it's always up to interpretation. You want to know my interpretation of the Constitution, of the Second Amendment? That all states should have a National Guard.
I agree with that interpretation.
That's my interpretation of it.
Well, it's not mine.
I know, and that's fine.
Yeah. Well, it's also not the Supreme Court's interpretation either. And I don't mean this Supreme Court. I mean any Supreme Court.
And again, that's fine.
I just don't want Bubba down the road having a bazooka. You know what I'm saying? That's my thought on it. Come on,
or a
weapons of
tank.
war in our citizens' hands. Yikes.
Yes, Kia, sorry.
This goes back to what Tiffany said. Tiffany, I feel you because I feel exactly the same. I understand, and it's like this is the part of the battle where I'm struggling with trying to even keep up because my brain is struggling. I hear Di and I hear Scott and I hear you guys talking about the law and the court cases. And while that's all well, fine, and good, Tiffany, I understand exactly what you're saying. That those court cases are not going to stop that stuff if it happens tonight. It's not going to stop the stuff that's coming out of the sky right now, unaliving all those kids in school. So I totally understand and feel where you're coming from. I heard the fear in your voice, and I hear how concerned you are, and it is. I mean, because what's happening right now has never happened. Exactly what Scott just said, the way that Congress has just totally abdicated their job. So it's really hard for anybody with confidence to sit here and say what happened in the past, our protections of the past. We see how they're just like literally falling apart left and right, that is what's going to save us. So I totally understand, Tiffany, where you're coming from. And I feel you. And I'm like, God damn, the court system is really crazy how fast they push through that TikTok blocking shit. That shit was done in and out really, really quick. Bam, boom, bam, boom. It was done. And it's crazy. I feel you. And then I still, at the same point in time, when we do get the wins in the court cases, that does give me some sense of joy. Because when I see those court cases that do go against him, I'm like, okay, this is the part of how it's supposed to work. It's just, I agree. Why the fuck does it got to take so long?
Right?
Yeah, and if you think that I was saying that, I think I said specifically, the courts aren't going to save us. If we're going to be saved, it has to be Congress. It has to be, and that's the way our Constitution was designed. The courts are designed to hear cases and controversies, and which by their very nature move very slowly. Our remedy, our constitutional remedy, if we're looking for one, there's really only one, and it lies within the Congress. Now, yes, there's the 25th Amendment, but for reasons that we've discussed now 3 times, don't hold your breath waiting for McMahon at the Department of Education, that whack job Lutnick, the other whack job Kennedy. Don't hold your breath waiting for Donald Trump could be deceased and they wouldn't vote to enact the 25th Amendment.
Weekend at Bernie's?
Yep, weekend at
Weekend
Bernie's. I was
at
just about to say
Bernie's.
it.
Wait, I
Yes,
got to write down the word whack job. Sorry.
yes, Anna. The military there is something in there that allows the military to say no to illegal orders. The problem is always getting someone in the military, is having people in the military be willing to do it. It's a rare choice for the military to make.
I'm hearing a lot of military people so stinking pissed off
Mhm.
that their kids are being sent over there for this kind of crap. Man, there's a lot of angry military there.
Well, one would hope that this tweet, should they attempt to try to do this, that this would be the catalyst to everyone saying, nah, I'm not doing that. Nope, nope. I would hope. Now, there's a lot of times I hoped things would be different, but
Hmm.
it, and it's not that I think the legal system doesn't have merit. It absolutely does. And it is a completely super necessary part of a healthy democracy. 100%. I will always support the court system to do its job. I think just for me, I'm starting to get concerned because I'm like, we don't have that time that it requires for them to do their job properly. The window is short, and that is a long haul.
You're exactly right, Tiffany.
Mhm.
And not only that, the legal system is not designed, nor should it, get involved in the day-to-day political operations of this country. It's not designed to do that. That's not its purpose. Who does have that purpose besides the presidency, the executive branch? The legislative branch, Congress. And I can think of I'll repeat myself. I can think of no historical analogy going back to 1787 where Congress has not asserted itself to protect its own rights and responsibilities until now. I don't know what Mike Johnson thinks his place in history is going to be, but I know exactly what it's going to be. By far and away, the most inept loser Speaker of the House this nation has ever had. And worse than that, he has fettered away his own body's constitutional rights and responsibilities. And that's unforgivable to me.
Slavic soul? No. Just no. That the answer is no.
No. Yeah, no, I don't. Will Mike Johnson be prosecuted for anything over all of this? I hope so.
Yeah, my question is because, Scott, you mentioned earlier that the United States is not part of the ICC, the International Court System. So, should there be another N2 required? How would that work? And just asking as somebody who I believe Canada is part of the ICC. So I'm like, I don't know how that would work.
Are you talking about a Nuremberg type trial?
Yes, I wasn't sure if I could say the word, so I said N2.0.
I don't know why you couldn't say Nuremberg. It's a city in Germany.
It's TikTok. Who knows?
You're right. Good point. Good
Oh my
point.
gosh,
Sorry,
that is
Tiffany.
so many sticky notes. Die.
That is an amazing wall. I love
Hold on,
it so
hold on.
much.
We're gonna make it big.
Oh dear. Well, I'm kind of I'm a little bit shy here because I'm redoing this door, so it's a little bit naked, but that's where all the First Amendment cases are going to go because there's so many. But yeah, I mean, I think a visual is very helpful when it comes to lawsuits, and each of these boards are front and back
That's insane.
with all of the
That's
lawsuits.
amazing.
There's A. And then B, and then over here, Alien
Buying
Alien
stock
Death.
in sticky notes now.
Oh my gosh, I need it. I'm so thankful for all of the donations. So it's a lot. Again, I'm sorry, where I'm right in construction here. Man, those First Amendment cases are crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
So
love all
each
the color coding. It makes my inside so joyful right now looking at this.
Well, yeah. And too, I'm not gonna monologue here too long, but also I think it's just like important to realize habeas corpus cases were in the thousands. That's never happened before, even with the Civil War. That's never happened. But every single one of these, and again, I'm a little embarrassed over here. Sorry about that. But every single one of these is a violation of federal law and the Constitution. So, I mean, for me, when I get up in the morning and go brush my teeth, I'm like, let's see what's going on today.
And again, we need to make it clear. He has not ever he has, in our opinion, but in the terms of going against the courts, he has never blatantly gone against it. He has always tried to either skirt it or use some excuse to make it to get around it. But when the court has decided something straight up, they have followed it. They've complained out of their mind and they've pretended that they don't care, but they've still done it.
Except for bringing people back to the country when they were supposed to, until they got taken back to court again. That's a big one to not do, especially when you're dealing with people's lives.
We've got lawsuits filed against them because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the boats. Anybody remember the exploding boats?
Mm-hmm.
We got lawsuits. Mm-hmm.
Tiffany, to answer your question about Nuremberg, you have to look at the circumstances of Nuremberg and the concurrent trials that took place in Japan at the end of the Second World War. Both nations had unconditionally surrendered. Therefore, they were abject before the court system that was designed for that. So for us to have a Nuremberg type trial, the United States would have to be crushed in a war, and that's not going to happen.
That is insane.
Yeah, I know it brings my my autistic side so much happiness. I'm like, and my ADHD side is I wish I could do that, but I never have the patience to get past like 10 sticky notes.
Well,
before I moved on somewhere else in life.
I needed something that was visual in order to remember what's going on in the court system. There's just so much going that this was the only way I could figure out how to make myself feel better. And I do. Every day I come in, I'm like, ooh, look at this. Someone's going down in like 2 years.
And I do want to make a comment. Someone said Europe will never forgive America or the United States. I want to make this statement. One, I'm not asking for forgiveness. Look, this country through a majority vote brought this upon us. We understand that. At least I do. To say never, I'm sure people said the same thing about Germany after what happened with them, and now they are not. They are respected in general, I think. It was, I don't know about you, I don't know about anybody else here, but I know it's going to take time to earn trust back. There's no question it's going to take time to earn trust back.
As somebody who is not American, I'm going to say I don't know if the trust will be earned back in my lifetime. That's how I'll put it. Not completely, anyways. I'm not saying that there won't be, little trust milestones that will be achieved over my lifetime, but I don't know if, and honestly, I'm not sure if or when the relationship between Canada and the US can be repaired to the point that it was prior to this administration. Or I'm going to say even prior to the first Trump administration. I'm not sure if.
Yeah, I agree with you. The leader of the French legislative branch said, in terms of winning back trust, that no, the next election won't do it because he knows that the United States is only one election away from at any time from going back to Crazy Town. He said the security of Europe cannot reside in a bunch of uneducated voters in Wisconsin every 4 years. Now, that was an inelegant way, undiplomatic way of putting it, but he happens to be correct. How can Europe trust us? Let's say the Democrats win the midterms and win the presidency in 2028. All is well. No, all is not well. The election of 2024 proved one thing, that the election of 2016 was not a fluke. Every nation is entitled to have one bad election, but when you do it twice, that shows it's you. That shows what the American people, or at least enough of the American people, 77 million of them, what they think. So the Europeans are right, even should the Democrats win in 2028 or a Mitt Romney type Republican win in 2028. The Europeans are not going to trust us because they know that, well, 4 years from now, you guys threw out the Democrats and Biden. Things were going well with us. You threw them out and went right back to Crazy Town. And what's going to stop you from going back to Crazy Town in 4 years? And that's a good point. That's Mike's point is exactly correct. It's going to take a generation to win back trust.
Hey, I just first of all, I just want to say hello to everyone.
Sure.
Hey, and let me say it like this. I understand all of the points that you all have made. Ultimately, and as much as those points will stick with you, this is the thing that you need to take away from all of this, is that at the end of the day, there are more similarities among us than there are differences. And we are all going to need each other at some point. Doesn't matter how you feel right now, doesn't matter how crazy this person's being or that person's being, or how wild this person's scene or that person's scene is. When we all need to band together, we just need to remember that we need each other. It doesn't matter. There's going to come a point in time where we're going to need to make sure that we're standing up for you. There comes times where you got to make sure you're standing up for us, but we all need each other. So as high as the tensions are, just remember that fact. Just remember that fact. Because all of the things that are going on and all of these things that affect us, it's not just happening to you, it's not just happening to this person. The world experiences these fears and these troubles, and we just need to continue to band together. Don't turn your backs on one another. Even if they get out of line, don't you get out of line. You continue to talk to people. You continue to be in each other's spaces. If somebody's hungry, feed them. Somebody needs a ride somewhere, take them. Help them out. Do the best you can. Because at the end of the day, that's all we can do.
Simplicity, why is Canada having to defend themselves against Russia and China? And I mean, yeah, Shug, in the end, that's kind of what I've been, to an extent, it's what I've been saying as a whole. Look, in the end, everyone should have some fundamentals. That is a short-sighted statement, Lanya. Everyone got to have fundamentals. I know the fundamentals, my fundamentals, the fundamentals of this channel, which is all people, no matter your race, religion, gender, identity, deserve rights, respect, dignity, and safety. If you agree with those fundamentals, I'm willing to talk with you. We can agree on a lot as long as we agree on those fundamentals. There are people in this country that don't agree with those fundamentals. There are. Those people, I mean, if you're not willing to listen, so be it. But in the end, there won't be much of a conversation with them, because I don't think, because if you can't agree on fundamentals, it's hard to, if you can't agree that someone deserves rights because of who they are, it's hard to have a conversation about anything else. Like there always is a basis. There has to be that basis. But I mean, yeah, we've got to be able to understand that even though we don't agree, a lot of us, even on the progressive side, don't agree on a lot of things, but we've got to understand that there are fundamentals that we do agree with. And sometimes that's all you're going to have. Is America? America's never been a Christian nation.
It's secular, just like Canada.
We are a nation of freedom of or from religion.
Well, I mean, like the Mayflower, they had the Mayflower Compact. I'm just putting that out there.
I'll say this. I hear you should. I mean, I know once a month when we do community breakfast, I know I'm feeding folks that are probably voted for him, and to that I wouldn't never stop helping people like that. But the whole kumbaya and all the other stuff, I'm just not down for that. That's a whole lot of people. It's kind of like, I think if people are not held accountable, we're going to end up in the same exact place, just maybe a few more 100 years if we make it that long as a country. But I think that's one of the issues. Like, what there was no accountability after a certain engagement that happened on our soil here, and everybody just kind of went back home, and shit just got really bad after that. So, I mean, I feel you. Everybody is humans. I want every child to be able to eat, period. No matter how your parents voted, no matter how racist your folks are, I don't care. I want your kids to eat. I want your kids to have health care. I want them to have a home. I want them to have education. I want the same thing for every person as I want for me. But as far as the whole wanting to be kumbaya and all of that, I'm not for that. And I'm saying that for those in the chat who may agree with me. And I think you could do both. You could feel both ways, and you could totally feel like F them all. You can absolutely do that. And know that that's okay. No, not anybody here. Here, it's not about telling everybody that we have to all think and agree and feel the same, because that's not what's going to happen.
I'm with Kia on that. I think there is a time for coming together, and there is a time for rational thought. Well, there's always a time for rational thought. Check that. But the key here is that this MAGA movement has to be crushed. That is a predicate action that must take place before we can have any reconciliation. We cannot deal with people who dehumanize our fellow Americans. We cannot deal with them. We cannot parlay with them. We cannot negotiate them. We have to defeat them. That is what has to happen first. And then we can talk about rebuilding.
Yes, let me be very clear, just in case. This is not aimed at anyone in particular, but if anyone is misunderstanding what I'm saying, I'm gonna go ahead and clear it up for you. I'm saying work with people who have sense, plain and simple. Those who, yeah, I understand that. You know, I was in the army. I understand. I've been to war. I understand war. I understand when those actions need to take place. I get all of that. What I'm saying is, don't harden your heart as a human being and work with people who have sense. That's for everybody, period. And yeah, they do got to be crushed, and they do got to be, all of that stuff. But I'm trying to keep things above board here, so I don't, because I could say some real stuff, but I know this is TikTok, and your stuff getting, I don't want your live getting taken down. So I'll just say it clearly, work with people who have sense, and just make sure that you don't let the crushing them override you being a human being. Plain and simple.
Oh my gosh, brilliant. Brilliant.
I'm gonna say I agree with Scott and Kia, sort of. I will never turn away helping somebody in a humanitarian way because of how they chose to vote or what deplorable human being they might be. That being said, for my own safety and for the safety of humanity, I cannot work with people who are so vile and inhumane, because you know what? We're not playing for the same team. We're not playing for the same team, and so we do not have the same end goals, and therefore there's really nothing to discuss. Like I respect your right to healthcare, to food, to a home, to all that stuff, but I can't work with people who do not believe that all people deserve food, housing, education, healthcare, the right to exist, as per this tweet. That perfect example. And so to me, for the safety of humanity and the safety of all of us, I'm not prepared to work with people who've proven that they're inhumane. I'm sorry, because you know what? That is not going to change just because this administration goes away. That is who that person is on the inside. When you squeeze that orange, that is the juice coming out of them, and that is not going to change. And that's life experience talking. People like that
I'm
don't
not sure about
change.
the squeezing. Can I just say that?
Oh, the
I
squeezing of the orange is it's a famous saying from oh God, what's his name? Wayne Dyer.
oh.
Yeah. So in case you
Okay,
didn't get the reference,
thanks.
yeah.
Thanks for the clarity. I was like, what? Juices what?
Well,
Yeah.
he talks about if you were an orange and somebody squeezed you, what would come out? Like that's his example. It's a very famous saying from him. And when we have seen what comes out of these people, and that is not going to change just because this administration goes away or the MAGA movement goes away. That is not going to change. They are still, this is still what they're going to believe and feel in their hearts, whether or not they have the gumption to say it out loud.
Yeah, Papa, I agree with what you want as an aspirational view of a future America. My only, and it's not even a disagreement, my only caveat, let's say, to what you're saying is that a predicate step to that is crushing MAGA. That has to start. Until we do that, until we crush the dehumanization of our fellow Americans, there's no point in having the conversation. The conversation takes place after that.
You know, I'm not 100%
All
sure
right.
on that. I mean, what you're saying, I think, is great. Just as a quick side note, though, too, you know, we have our the trans peoples in the military have all been unceremoniously kicked out and treated just horrifically. So there were lawsuits coming. A judge came back and said, it seems like the United States always has a group of people that get the worst of the treatment, and I would say that's true. I know, you know, we're like, oh, we wish they were human, but then I think back to the AIDS crisis. It's like people weren't human then, they were awful. And then lots of other situations where we've had specific groups of people being terribly discriminated against. So I would just say, I'm not sure that only the people that don't believe that people are the ones needing to be taken care of. But also, Scott, are we going to have Congress come in? Those embarrassed Republicans, are they going to come in and finally help? Are they going to go back into the shadows? I'm wondering.
Only if it's in their best interests.
I got
And
you
we
now.
and a president with a 25 or 30% approval rating, let's say it drops another 10 points, which it very well may, he will no longer have the juice to threaten them. And then all of a sudden, it'll be like a miracle. They will find their backbone. And why will they find their backbone? Because it is in their own political interest to do so. And by the way, somebody in chat asked me a very good question. How do you crush someone legally? I absolutely say legally. It's through the polls. I should have said that. Through voting, not through revolution, not through violent means. No, I'm a big believer in following the law at all times. And the way you defeat them is to defeat them in elections. I'm sorry, I should have made that clear. Thank you so much for bringing that up, because that was a really important point.
Totally.
Okay. And I know. I think you all are still missing me a little bit here. I'm not speaking again. I'm gonna go back to what I said originally. Work with the people who are working with you. If they're not working with you, You can't help them. So, and I think unfortunately I have to be this direct and harsh. If they're not acting like they have any sense, as they showcase themselves to be, then no, you can't give them a hand up or out. You're going to have to let them deal with the consequences of their actions. Let me use it this way and then apply it to that base. If you have someone who is struggling with addiction and you've tried to help them, but then they continue to go and do the thing that is hurting them, then you have to let them unfortunately deal with the consequence of that action. Now apply that to that MAGA base, and I hope you get the picture very clearly. Yeah, some of them might have to starve. Some of them might have to face some very more severe unfortunate consequences. If they're, I'm not advocating for this kumbaya wild situation, so that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about these are right here. When you have somebody who's willing to listen, that's the humanity I'm saying to retain. I want to make that abundantly clear.
Okay, I
And I don't,
completely
and I'm,
get you.
yeah,
Okay. I get you
and the
too.
reason,
Agreed. Agreed.
okay, and the reason why I'm harping on it because it is that important. That's what I'm saying. Because some of them, again, just like what Mike showcased, I don't remember the young lady, but there was that young, what was that young lady took her, what, she said 3 years, I think, to
Oh,
really understand
yeah,
how
yeah. The
ingrained
person.
she was.
Yep. Yeah, the person I interviewed.
So so I'm just saying you're gonna have some of those that are like that. And those are the times you gotta remember past the like, hey, you know what? Stuff is ingrained. But if she was willing to be worked with, work with her.
Yep.
That's who I'm talking about.
Yes.
If they're obviously sitting there saying the same stuff and they clearly have drawn their lines in the sand, you can't help them. I get that completely. And don't. Nobody's talking about a kumbaya. I'm not talking about no, uh, euphoric world that doesn't exist. No, work with the people who will work with you. That's the times I'm saying, remember your humanity in those situations. But as far as what the MAGA folks are doing, no, like you said, Scott, cook them legally at the polls. Like I said, I'm gonna refrain from going any further than that, out of respect for Mike. Because if I'm telling you, if it was my life, I'd say some stuff. I'll just be honest, and I could care less. But
Ooh,
I'm going to
love that.
respect Mike's life. So
No,
just so we're all
for
on the
the good
same
of the
page,
nation
okay?
and for the good of the nation in the future, it has to be legally. If we start breaking the law, even if we win now, we'll lose in the long run.
All right. As much as I'd like to keep talking, it is time for me to do other things. For everyone over here on TikTok, please and thank you for following, collecting all your points, doing all the things that you need to do. The biggest thing that I want to talk about is I am posting every single day over on the tube that grassroots candidates that are running for Congress and state positions, they are doing it right. They aren't taking PAC money. They want to be held accountable. They want to break the status quo that we are stuck in, but they need you guys to watch their videos, whether it's even the one I make or the ones that they make. Even if it's just finding their stuff and putting it out there. They need visibility. They need name recognition. We've got, a bunch of states in May that are having their primaries. Please go watch those videos. I made a playlist specifically for people that I've interviewed that have primaries in May, and we'll keep adding. Have I interviewed anyone from New Jersey? Not yet, OC. Not yet. I've reached out, but I can't force people to respond back. So not yet, but I'm sure it could happen. But please go subscribe over there and watch. And for everyone who liked and shared and gifted, thank you so very much. It makes it, you guys being here and doing this makes it possible for me to keep doing what I'm doing. So thank you everyone who's up here and talking. I know these are hard conversations, and this is an emotional time. And again, the great thing about what we're doing is, in the end, we do all have the same fundamentals, which is why we can sit here and have these kind of conversations. So for everyone else, we'll see you tonight or tomorrow. And hopefully he'll taco. You guys are amazing just the way you are, and I love you all very much. Stay safe, stay healthy. Remember to sing, laugh, dance, smile. Do something that makes you happy. Bye, guys.